Alright, in this video I'll show you how to change the rear brakes on your Corolla IM 2017. So first things first, we're going to jack up the car and then take off the wheel. These are 21. Okay, after that we're going to go ahead and remove two 14mm bolts for the caliper and the caliper guide pins. Now we could go ahead and remove the caliper. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and retract the caliper piston. These are the types that you have to push and twist at the same time. So if you have the tool, you could go ahead and use it. I have a faster way. I'm going to use some long nose pliers and then just push and twist at the same time. So as you turn, the boot might twist with it, so just spritz a shot of PB Blaster, just so it could lube up the boot, and then we could go ahead and twist it as usual. Like that, so twist until it won't go in anymore, and then you know it's all the way retracted. Now you could just use some brake cleaner to clean it off. Okay, the next step is we're going to go ahead and remove these springs that are on the brake pads. So keep them aside, don't throw them out because we're going to use them for the new pad. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and remove the two caliper bracket bolts. These are also 14. Okay, now we could go ahead and remove the bracket. Okay, now let's go ahead and clean off the guide pins and put some new grease. Now let's take off the old pads and the old hardware. Now we're going to go ahead and clean the bracket and then put some anti-seize. So we're going to use a wire brush and then pass through it with a file. Okay, now we're going to put on the new hardware. Okay, now we're going to put on the new pads. Okay, now let's remove the old rotor. We're going to use a sledgehammer and hammer on the bottom and the top here. Now we're just going to quickly clean this hub surface. Now we're going to put some anti-seize. Now we're going to put on the new rotor. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put the caliper bracket with the new pads. Now we could go ahead and tighten the two caliper bracket bolts. Okay, we're just going to put some anti-seize on the back of the pads. Okay, if your brake pad kit came with the new brake pad springs, you could go ahead and use them. If not, just use the old ones. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put the caliper back on. Okay, now let's put the wheel back on. Okay, that's it, we're all done. Once you've done both sides, make sure before you go for a drive, pump the brake pedal so the caliper piston can sit with the new pads. And that's it, we're all done. See you guys in the next one.